Hey Jeff, how you doing?
Great, Herbert. How's yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. I hear you're in Carlsbad.
Yeah, I finished up Crossworlds at the start of the month and went back to Calgary for a little break, visited my sister up there, a little conference, and been hanging out in Carlsbad now for a couple weeks. National team mountain bike camp. We did a road training camp down here, and now I'm starting my trade team camp with Scott Three Rocks.
Um, Carlsbad, or the general area, is really popular with triathletes as well. Do you encounter many?
Yeah, I've definitely seen a few rolling along the PCH. But yeah, it's usually nice weather, and that's where they come to ride. Fortunately, we've even seen a bit of snow, but we're having fun getting in some good miles for sure.
You mentioned cyclocross worlds earlier. Um, what's your thought looking back at cyclocross worlds?
I was, really fun experience for me. I mean, it's kind of been on my bucket list to race a little more cross. It's been tough to make it to Europe just because of the focus on the mountain bike schedule, and there's only so many months in the year. But when pretty special opportunity when Worlds came to Louisville, a chance to race Worlds, especially the first time outside of Europe. So I went there with not a lot of pressure, and I could have done a little bit better, could have done a little bit worse, but really happy to just go in there and been in the mix. It's certainly a challenging week for everyone there, and just happy it went off, and I think showcased the sport great in North America, and hopefully be able to see the sport kind of continue building on that momentum in North America. I think a lot of people are pretty excited to see the race.
Did you enjoy the atmosphere?
Yeah, no, it was super. I mean, that's a big part why I do cyclocross is for the atmosphere in the community. It's great. Have a lot of friends racing different disciplines on the road and bring them all together and, know a few of the Euro guys as well. It's fun to kind of all come together and compete. And the cyclocross community certainly had a lot of fun there.
In terms of your racing calendar, the next thing up is, I guess, Sea Otter.
Yeah, we're going to start out the Pro XCT series. We're after our team camp here. We're going to have our launch in Laguna on March 3rd. There's a race out in Austin, Texas, to kind of start things off, and then we will have another break. And yeah, the Sea Otter and Whiskey 50 are big events for our team that start in April. It's really nice this year. Last year we had to start with the World Cup in South Africa in March, and that's another reason I was able to do Crossworlds is because we kind of roll into the season a little later, and the World Cups don't start till May. So nice to have a few more winter months to fit in some stuff for sure.
So when you travel, do you typically have your road bike with you in addition to your mountain bike, or do you usually convert it? I guess for this camp, this was a road-specific camp, so you have your road bike with you, but how does it typically work?
Usually, I mean, I like if there's training to be done, I always try to bring my road bike. I find if it's just short breaks in between races and it makes it easier logistically, I'll just do it on the mountain. But if I'm just spinning out those gears on the road where I do a lot of my training, it's difficult if I don't have my road bike. Luckily, always had a team vehicle in Europe so for the long stretches, I'll leave a road bike over there so I can just show up and race and get that kind of quality training in between whenever I can.
Well, in terms of the bike stuff, I guess you're riding hardtails now mostly, or are you full suspension all the time?
I've always been a pretty big full suspension fan. Right now, I have the Scott Spark and the Scott Scales, the hardtail. Last year, I probably raced the scale a little bit more than usual, just because I knew it was going to be the best weapon for the Olympic course, and but really comfortable on the Spark, and it just really depends on the course, what we see, and how rough and how much momentum we can carry on that full suspension versus the hardtail.
Do you see the end of the 26-inch wheel in sight at all, or do you think it's going to stick around?
I think for the elite level, it's definitely limited. I was on the fence for a long time, but the equipment progressed so much on the 29er, and there's definitely significant benefits. And I think we'll see the 27.5 or 650B, whatever you want to designate it, be kind of the go-to wheel size for the smaller riders, and 29 for anyone who can fit and get the geometry right.
So I should sell all my 26-inch equipment now before the end is near.
Yeah, it's definitely, you're going to find it harder and harder for sure. I think talking to friends and people trying to sell the 26-inch, it's going to be more and more an uphill battle. Everyone wants the bigger wheels for sure.
You mentioned you visited your sister earlier. How's she doing?
Good. It's amazing. I don't know how she does it, the two kids, but it was fun. I got to go visit her a couple weeks ago in Calgary, and yeah, she's still motivated and having fun with the sport, and she's got great support from her team. So I think she's excited to keep racing for a couple of years, and it's neat to have a sister competitive as well.
Well, she's doing triathlons. What about you?
Well, I actually started triathlons before, but I've raced Xterra actually, the World Championships a couple times, 2003 and maybe 2006. I think I had a ninth and a 15th way back in the day, and I'm definitely competitive. There's just not enough months in the year to fit in. I actually went over and watched the World Championships this year. I definitely enjoyed hanging out and watching it, but we've definitely joked about having an Ironman showdown sometime in the future near the end of our careers.
Yeah. So have you done any road triathlons at all?
No, just the Xterra a couple times.
Well,
It'd
you
be,
know, you
be
know
a fun challenge.
the advantage for a weaker swimmer is actually truly not in an off-road triathlon. It's actually in a road triathlon where you really can pass at will. Sometimes passing in an off-road triathlon is not so easy, even if you have great power and great skill.
Yeah, no, I'd come out as the last pro in Maui at the Xterra, so it was definitely a challenge when I got on the mountain bike. But yeah, maybe I'll have to look for an Ironman with a wetsuit swim and a hilly bike.
Surely someone is going to be able to. Your sister for sure can help you out with your swimming, I would imagine.
Yeah, no, I hope so. And I'm going into business with a guy who's a former national team swimmer up in Canada, a new company. So I'm sure I got lots of people who can give me a few tips here and there.
That sounds great. Well, listen, Jeff, it's really good seeing you. Enjoy the rest of your time in Carlsbad, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks, Herbert.